Hi guys, I'm finally back, and it does indeed seem like it's been forever, doesn't it? Yeah, I finally got around to shooting a few videos, and the first thing that I want to talk to you about today is my most favorite ladies professional league of all time, which is frankly not Glow, not the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. As you probably know, Glow was the show and the league that actually got me hooked on women's professional wrestling. But the one that I actually enjoyed the most, and the one that I do believe that is to this day the very best ladies professional wrestling you can see anywhere, is the LPWA, Ladies Professional Wrestling Association. And believe it or not, David McLean didn't actually have a hand in it. So the LPWA got started sometime after Glow wrapped up, and as such, it sort of had Glow's experience to look back upon and to draw from. And sure enough, the creators of the LPWA made an absolutely superb effort happen. Even though things weren't quite as savory all around the operation, because as far as I understand, there are some lady wrestlers, like Heidi Lee Morgan and probably a number of others, who didn't get paid for their LPWA efforts to this very day. So yeah, it was a little bit of a swindle in this regard, but for us fans, it was absolute heaven, at least it was for me, because it was so much better than Glow in just about every respect, while staying true to the 80s look and to the 80s feel, even though I think it got started in the early 90s, like around 92, 94, I'm not sure. I'm going to check on Wikipedia because obviously it's available there. And but yes, it was so much better than Glow in every regard. First of all, the wrestling was a hell of a lot more serious. Now, I'm not going to say it was of a better quality than it was in Glow, although that might indeed be the case as well. But it was definitely much more serious, and the whole organization was much more of a sports league focused effort than a comedy show type of approach that the Glow was. Now, talking about this right now makes a lot of sense because Glow just launched on Netflix, and I have actually just watched the pilot episode of that show, and I'm going to fill you in on my thoughts on that too in a different video. But for now, let's stick to the LPWA. The LPWA gets very little attention in pop culture these days, even though, as I said, it was a lot better effort than Glow from just about every regard. The LPWA was filled with what you would call legitimate wrestlers, so they weren't actually hired for the purpose of pushing the LPWA. They had actually wrestled before joining the league, and it clearly showed. There was a lot of experience in that ring, and quite frankly, I think with a couple of exceptions, I loved every one of the characters and of the ladies who performed on that show. Their champion was, for instance, Susan Sexton, an Aussie wrestler who got started in the 60s or 70s, and she was absolutely right for this role. She was mature, she was strong, she was powerful, she had the moves in the ring, and quite frankly, the way she moved in the ring with those cat-like maneuvers of hers, she was absolutely a delight to watch, and it always made sense that someone like that would destroy a rookie, like, say, Allison Royal, for instance. As I said, I loved just about every one of the wrestlers in Glow. One of my favorites, actually my top favorite ever, wrestled in Glow as well, Malaya Hosaka. Glow, yeah. Actually, my top favorite, Malaya Hosaka, wrestled in the LPWA as well as a singles wrestler, and she formed a tag team with Bambi too. So Bambi Selena Majors, another one of my favorites. So as I said, the LPWA, it was like a long list of favorites of mine. Malaya Hosaka's career in the LPWA was like the true source of inspiration for me, because back then, being a very feminine and a skinny kid, I always sort of felt like I would be a sort of a Malaya Hosaka in the ring if I ever got to wrestling. And yeah, that sort of I sort of identified with her, at least from a physical perspective. And she was great in the LPWA, as was Rusty the Fox Thomas. Now, Rusty the Fox was mostly used as a jobber in the LPWA, jobbing to such greats as Reggie Bennett and Terry Power. And despite that, it was obvious that she was a very talented, very experienced wrestler, and she looked like $1,000,000 whenever she stepped into that ring. And she never actually lost her allure of a fighter, of a wrestler. Like, she always seemed like someone ready to swing into action, and someone who could actually do harm in that ring if she really meant to, despite the fact that she looked all dolled up and beautiful and all that. So that's, as far as I'm concerned, what women's wrestling is or should be all about. Another favorite of mine from there was Cindy Paradise. Now, Cindy Paradise was the epitome of a jobber. She had to job for just about everyone, and that included some of the wrestlers who themselves acted as jobbers for some of the top tier talent over there. And despite that, she was physical perfection as far as I was concerned back in those days. She was muscular, she was well built, buff, yet very feminine, and she looked hot. She did kind of seem lost in that ring every now and then, but that went well with her role of a jobber. Another wrestler that I would like to sort of point out in the LPWA was Allison Royal. Now, Allison Royal was herself a jobber, but she too, like Cheryl Russa and some of the other girls who were, you know, sort of compelled to take up these roles, she was perfect for it. So the casting in this regard was absolutely on spot. She was the perfect wrestler, the perfect jobber as well, and she looked hapless, she looked beautiful, yet sort of capable in that ring, and she was always like one step away from securing the first important victory of hers. Of course, which never really happened as far as I know, at least not as a singles wrestler, although she did enjoy some success as part of Team America with Misty Blue Sims, that's right. Okay, having covered the jobber level of the organization, the top-notch talent was awesome as well. Reggie Bennett was in her prime at that time, although her Facebook page living testimony to this, she's in superb shape even now. So let's just not get carried away with that. She did pack on some weight after her LPWA days when she went to wrestle in Japan, but apparently later on she managed to regain her previous level of fitness, and now she looks just as great as ever. In the LPWA, Reggie Bennett was an absolutely dominant force, and her allure as an enforcer was sort of dampened by the fact that she was teamed up with Cheryl Russa in a tag team known as Locomotion, which is quite possibly one of my favorite female tag teams of all time. Now, Locomotion never really won a proper bout. They may have beaten the Nasty Girls once. If I'm not mistaken, I could be though. They may not have beaten any top-level opponents, but they were there, and they were absolutely a delight to watch, at least for me. They wore those superb costumes, which weren't too revealing, yet they did actually show off their bodybuilder figures well, because that was their gimmick. They were both bodybuilders. Like Cheryl Russa was doing it on a different level, obviously, than Reggie Bennett. But Reggie Bennett was absolutely massive, and she could lift up just about anyone in the LPWA and dominate anybody in that ring. Another LPWA favorite of mine was Sweet Georgia Brown, who went on to wrestle as Miss Jacqueline, if I'm not mistaken, in WWE or WCW back in those days. And she was a member of the Mighty Mites back then, as she was sort of diminutive of stature. And but regardless of that fact, she was also ultra fit. She was also superb, and her moves were already on spot in that ring. And it was sort of a different kind of experience to watch her job to others, having already seen her in WCW before as a sort of a top tier talent there. I didn't actually get to watch any LPWA back when it was actually running, but I did get to watch most of the shows on the internet, and I purchased some, and to this day there is a website, I think allwomenwrestling.com if I'm not mistaken. They have a bunch of videos here on YouTube as well, and they have much of the LPWA covered for free here on YouTube, but they have a bunch of videos for sale, and they have every single full LPWA show available, obviously. So if you too are interested in the LPWA, check out their website and purchase some of their videos. That's it for this segment. I hope, I would actually hope to see a sort of a movie remake of the LPWA in the fashion that Glow has been remade now by Netflix. Alright guys, so that's it for today. Check me out on Facebook and on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter if you're on there. And obviously subscribe to my channel right here for more videos like this, and for more pantyhose reviews and possibly some wrestling hold demos as well. See you around, and bye-bye.